I done seen these streets eat the best of niggas and teach the rest of niggas. If God willing every time, I'm gonna blame my nigga. I remember
Yo, YouTube family, man. What's up? What's happening? Right back at it, man, with another episode of Prison Chronicles, man. Appreciate it to all my loyal watchers and followers and subscribers out there, man. Keep on tuning in. You know what I mean? Seeing what, you know what I mean, what the word is, telling you what the word is on the inside of these walls. The good, the bad, and the ugly, man. Nothing but true experiences, no cap, no lies told, man. Everything is authentic. You know what I mean? Straight from my 12 years experience in the Georgia penitentiary or the Georgia prison system. Today I'm gonna touch on a topic, man. I call it White Lives Matter in Prison. And the reason being is because of the recent activities of your boy Kanye West. So Kanye West wore a controversial t-shirt a few weeks back that had White Lives Matter on the back. And everybody was kind of in an uproar because they didn't fully understand what he was saying and what he meant. So I'm coming to not so much to clarify what he meant, because I don't know what the fuck he meant. You know what I mean? I don't know what his true intentions was for wearing a t-shirt. But somebody once asked me before, you know, how are white boys treated in prison? How are white boys treated in prison? And it's very different than what you may think. A lot of people think that, you know, white boys have it bad. You know what I mean? They have a bad time in prison. You know what I mean? They get extorted and get beat up and get their shit stolen and things of that nature. But more often than not, that's not the case. All right. A lot of people think that the majority of white boys in prison are pedophiles and child molesters and things of that nature, but that's not the case either. You'll actually be surprised to find out that the majority of pedophiles and child molesters or sex offenders in prison, in Georgia prison anyway, majority of them actually black. So back in, you know, when phones first started coming into the system, people couldn't lie about their charges no more. We would actually go on a spree of looking people up. You know what I mean? We would go and pick random people, most of the time without them even knowing. We would go and find a GDC number. Usually your GDC number is printed on your shirt, you know, below your name. You got your name, then you got your GDC number, and we would go and we would get these people GDC numbers, you know what I mean, as they walking around, and we would take it back to the room and go on the cell phone and look them up. And you'd be surprised that I would say 80% of the people that we looked up had some type of sex offender charge, whether it be child molestation, or usually it's child molestation, or statutory rape. So statutory rape is a sex offender charge, and that's when basically you had sex with a girl. You probably was, usually you in your early 20s or something, and you fucking with a 15, 16-year-old. You know what I mean? That's statutory rape. But, you know, I say that to say that a lot of people think that most white boys are the sex offenders, but really the majority, from what I've seen, you know what I mean, the majority are black dudes. But back to the topic at hand. White lives matter in prison. I'm going to tell you why. Because black lives matter. Black lives don't matter to black dudes in prison, and white lives matter. Because black dudes in prison will treat a white boy way better and with way more respect. I'm not going to just say that they're going to treat them with respect, but they pretty much leave them alone. you're gonna leave alone the white boy who's alone in the dorm. You know, a white boy could be alone in the dorm, minding his own business, and nobody would really mess with him. But you'll have a black guy who's alone, who's not a part of an organization or a gang, and you're gonna have black guys fuck with him. You know what I mean, for no reason. Before you have them fuck with a white boy. I've seen instances where we were standing on line for inspection. All right, inspection is something that, you know, generally takes place every morning. Every morning, you're supposed to get up. You're supposed to, you know, clean your room up, make your bed up a certain type of way, have your shoes lined up in the room a certain type of way. You gotta have your uniform on and tucked in, you know, a certain type of way. And then the warden, his little team comes through, and you know everybody stands on line at attention, and you know they go through and check your rooms and all of that. I can remember an instance where there was a young black guy who was on line, and the officer on duty, the guard on duty, was a black guy. And he came through and he saw the black guy's room, and the black guy had this picture of, you know, this girl from some magazine with her ass out, you know, some big booty girl in a bathing suit or something, showing her ass, and the guy had that picture posted up in his little window in his room. And the black officer was like, "Hey man, take that picture down." And I'm standing right next to, you know, the guy who had this up, and I'm listening to this conversation, and the officer was like, "Hey man, you need to take that picture down because you know they ain't gonna let you keep that picture up during inspection." So the black guy, you know, the inmate proceeds to turn into a whole altercation, man, threatening the black guy, talking about, "Man, I'll beat your ass, nigga," and woo de woo, blah, 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 can't tell me what the fuck to do, but for like a whole 5-10 minutes. With the officer like, "Hey man, look, you need to take this down," and the black dude cussing him out and threatening him, saying that he beat his ass and all that. "Don't come in my room, don't come in my room," blah, blah. And you know what I mean, just throwing all type of crazy insults that was totally unnecessary for about a good 5 to 7 minutes before a white officer came. A white officer came into the dorm, and he saw the little altercation, and then he walked up and he looked at the dude, the black inmate, and was like, "Man, take that damn picture off your wall." And sure enough, the black dude didn't even say shit. He turned right around and went and proceeded to take the picture down, bro, without any protest or any altercation or any argument or nothing like that. You know what I mean? So it's crazy how black people treat each other and do the most heinous things, man. I'm not even going to describe some of the heinous activities that I've seen among black people, and it's very, very rare for these things to occur to white boys. You know what I mean? White boys are very well protected in prison. You know what I mean? I can remember an instance where black dude got a phone, right? Black dude got a phone, and you know, he was by himself. He was a civilian. He wasn't, you know, a gang member or anything. And he had a phone, and some GDs, some guys from a GD gang decided that they want to take his phone. So they tried to take his phone, and they went in and beat the guy up, you know, jumped on him and took his phone. And they were like, "If you want to get your phone back, you got to fight for the phone." You know what I mean? If you fight this one individual who was a big guy, he was a big black guy, he was a good fighter, you know what I mean? The dude wasn't going to win. And it was like, if you want your phone back, you got to fight him. If you beat him, we'll give you your phone back. Which, if he would have beat him and won, they would not have given him the phone back either way. So he really was in a lose-lose situation. He had no win. And everybody was kind of mad. You know, all the other guys in the dorm was kind of mad because they were like, "Damn, Buddy didn't have to fight for the phone when he bought it. When he first bought the phone and acquired the phone, he ain't had to fight for the phone. So how y'all gonna come and oppress this man, you know what I mean, because he got a phone and y'all don't?" You feel me? You know, a lot of people was mad about it, but they didn't do nobody else did shit about it. You know what I mean? And then inside the same dorm, a couple days later, this white guy, who was a civilian white boy, you know, he was by himself. He was tripping about something, like he basically was having some type of mental episode or something, and he was just, you know, hollering and making a big fuss in the middle of the dorm for some reason. I can't remember why. And these same GDs who fought and stole this guy's phone were coming to this white boy like, hey man, calm down, you know what I mean? You finna bring a lot of attention to our dorm that we don't want that attention in our dorm, so calm down, you know what I mean? And really sympathizing and being empathetic, whatever you say that word, empathetic, with this white boy. But if he was a black guy, y'all would have beat him up and y'all would have made him shut the fuck up, or y'all would have put him on the door and kicked him out the dorm. But this white dude who was a nobody, you know what I mean, they came and gently silenced this dude and tried to get him to calm down, you know what I mean? So I just think that the slogan of white lives matter is a much truer statement to me in my experience than Black Lives Matter is, because although sure enough Black Lives Matter, duh, you know what I mean, and of course white lives matter, duh, you know what I mean, but to the people, black people, white lives matter way more than Black Lives Matter, bro. You got niggas killing niggas every day, multiple times a day. Look at Chicago, look at Atlanta, look at look at New Orleans, look at pretty much every major city across America. You got niggas killing niggas and niggas robbing niggas and little girls being molested and raped by their own family members and things of that nature happening on a daily. And, you know, this stuff happens to white people as well, but it doesn't happen far as frequently as it does within the black community. And you don't have black people coming to the aid and support of other black people as often as they come to white people. You know what I mean? You can look at the business world. Black people buy up Polo, Balenciaga, Gucci, Louis, Louboutin, all of these white companies, Mercedes-Benz, Dodge, you know, whatever. You know, they quick to buy up everything white owned, but they're slow to support black owned businesses. And the excuse is they say, well, black businesses aren't as good, or the services aren't as good, or the quality isn't as good. You know what I mean? What the Jewish people will tell you that we support our own no matter how the quality is, no matter what the service is. If a Jewish person starts a company, we're going to support it regardless, even if he charges more, or even if his quality of his product isn't as good as other people, we still going to support him. You know what I mean? So black lives don't matter to black people, bro. Not saying everybody, but the majority, the vast majority, black lives don't matter, bro. And in the prison system, you know, black lives don't matter. I can give you a story of, you know, even officers, even the guards, even the white guards or white staff members treating me better and with more respect and with more consideration even than black guards do. For example, my first 2 years in prison, my daughter was not on my visitation list because my daughter's mother wasn't able to get her birth certificate. You know, for the first 2 years, she wasn't able to take off her job during the hours where whatever building that you go to get birth certificate. And she didn't, I don't know, you know, I'm pretty sure she could have went online and filed for whatever, I don't know, but for the first 2 years, my daughter didn't have her birth certificate, regardless of the reason. So my first 2 years in prison, I was at a black ran facility, and black ran facilities are always worse than white ran facilities. They're always less organized, and they just treat you worse than white facilities, and that don't make no sense. So I was at this black ran facility that had a black warden. The majority of the staff was black. And I remember I, pleaded to the warden and was like, look, man, my daughter isn't on my visitation list. I haven't seen my daughter in the whole 2 years of my incarceration. I was like, if there any type of way that you could, just get her on my visitation list, you know what I mean? And he was like, well, no, I can't do that. You got to go through the regular protocol and go through, the regular process to get your daughter on the list. You know what I mean? Which I knew that there was some, you the fucking warden, bro. Like, there's something you can do, bro. Like, come on with the bullshit, right? So shortly after that, I got transferred to a different facility, which was a white ran facility. So the first day that I got there, the very, very, very first day that I got there, they let you go talk to your counselor, whoever is going to be the counselor over you, at that facility. They let you go talk to her and whatever, to ask whatever questions or, get help or whatever you need. So I went to this white ran facility, and the first day I went to go talk to my counselor, who was a white female. And, she gave me the whole rundown of the prison and everything I needed to know and whatever. And she said, if there's anything that I can help you with. And I was like, well, my daughter isn't on my visitation list, and I need to get her on my visitation list. And she was like, what? Your daughter not on your visitation list? I'm like, nah, it's been 2 years. I ain't been able to get her on there. She was like, hold on, let me see. She go into her little computer, types of stuff. She said, what's her name again? And I told her the name, told her how to spell it. Boop. Okay, she's on there now. Like, yeah. Like, yeah. You know what I mean? Just that simple. A simple click on the computer, put her name in there, hit the enter button, and okay, yeah, now she's on your visitation list. Yeah, that's simple. This counselor did that. This white woman counselor, but this black warden dude couldn't do that. You feel me? So, I can remember another instance. I got hundreds of stories, maybe not hundreds, but I got dozens of stories. You know what I mean? I'm not even gonna get into all that because this isn't a, this video isn't geared towards that. But I just wanted to speak on, how white lives matter in prison, whereas black lives don't matter, bro. In fact, throughout my whole prison experience, I have never seen a white boy get stabbed by a black guy in prison. Not in my whole 12 years. I've never seen it. You know what I mean? I've seen white boys get beat up. You know what I mean? I've seen white boys do crazy shit and get spared by black guys. But I've never, I've seen white boys get robbed. I think maybe one time I saw white boys get robbed, but I've never seen a white boy get stabbed by a black guy. I've seen white boys get stabbed by the white boys. Yeah, I seen that, but I never seen ever in the 12 years that I was down, bro. I never seen a white boy get stabbed by a black guy. You know what I mean? White boys are safer in prison. White boys are safer in prison being by themselves and being a civilian. They're safer than a black guy is, being a civilian and being by yourself. White boys are safer than a black guy is. A black boy will get fucked with, faster than a white boy will. A white boy will have a phone, or he'll be going to the store every week, or he'll have whatever he has. But if a black guy got it, the black guy gonna get robbed and gonna get extorted and stuff like that long before a white boy does. So that's to answer the question that somebody asked me. Like, well, how was white boys treated, in prison? And yeah, that's pretty much how they're treated in prison. White lives matter, bro. White lives matter, black lives don't matter to white people, bro. And that's just the truth of the situation. You can say what you want to say, and you can come with all type of excuses and try to explain why black people are conditioned that way. I mean, at the end of the day, it's still stupid and it still don't make no sense. You feel me? And it's still crazy. So I really don't give a fuck about the explanation. And you can say, oh, we went through this, we went through that for so many centuries and whatever. But so at the end of the day, it still is what it is, regardless of why it is. It still is what it is. You know what I mean? And I don't know what to do about that. Or you know what I mean? I'm not here to try to do anything about it. You know what I mean? But I'm just making a video on request. This is not even a video that I would normally even want to make, but somebody asked me to make it, so here it is. So yeah, man, y'all stay tuned, man. You know what I mean? I got some more good shit, some more interesting shit, man. Y'all remember to like and subscribe, man, to the channel. You know what I mean? Help me grow this channel a little bit. I'm at 500 some subscribers, man. I needed to grow. You know what I mean? I needed to progress a little further, man. So yeah, but I appreciate y'all. You know what I mean? Y'all stay tuned in. Got a lot more to come. Peace.